This is 7 News, the voice of regional WA.
Tonight, soaring temperatures. Parts of WA suffer through an extended heat wave. The renewed push for million-dollar upgrades to Busselton's airport. Banning junk food ads, the move that could save the state billions.
And how long will that heatwave last? I'll have the full forecast coming up.
7 News begins now.
Hello and welcome to 7 News. We begin tonight with news that heatwave gripping parts of WA has been extended. Authorities had predicted 3 days of soaring temperatures. That's now been extended to a week. The temperature hit 43 degrees in Geraldton before lunchtime. We're being told to take extra care in the days ahead.
A 7-day heatwave begins today. In some places, daytime temperatures will exceed 35 degrees. The heatwave covers an area from southern Pilbara all the way down to Cape Leeuwin in our southwest. At 11:30 in Geraldton this morning, the mercury hit 43 degrees. Some locals avoided the heat by heading to the beach.
I just came down to cool off. We've got no aircon in our building, so thought it'd be nice just to have a swim and freshen up, and yeah, now that the sea breeze is in, it's feeling a bit better too.
In the southwest, temperatures rose to around 31 degrees, and a storm warning is now in place for the southwest. We're expected to see winds of up to 90 kilometres an hour develop in the early hours of tomorrow. An extreme fire danger is forecast for the next 3 days for people in the central wheatbelt. We're being told to stay out of the sun and drink plenty of water.
It's going to be a very long and hot summer, so people need to take care of themselves, look after relatives, particularly vulnerable relatives, and stay hydrated, and call for help if you need help.
This heatwave can cause a major issue for your pets. Last year, 202 dogs were found in hot cars. The RSPCA says our animals also need protection from the extreme weather.
So with the upcoming hot days, we're asking people to make sure that their animals have got plenty of water and shade in the backyard, and even making sure that their pocket pets are well cared for and they're looked after in this heat.
Using ice bottles, keeping them inside and wetting regularly can help keep your pets safe. Maya Grieve, 7 News.
A 21-year-old has been charged over the alleged stabbing death of a Cable Beach man. Police were called to a home on Roe Place yesterday to find the 27-year-old suffering stab wounds. He was unable to be revived and died at the scene. The 21-year-old, who is known to the victim, was arrested and has been charged with murder. He'll face the Broome Magistrates Court tomorrow. The state government has announced millions of dollars in funding to boost home affordability in the Pilbara and the Kimberley. As parts of the state's Northwest Aboriginal Housing Fund, they'll use $30 million to build 28 affordable rental homes for Aboriginal workers and their families. Another $16 million will help with housing for employees. Construction is also progressing at a new training facility in Roebourne to support apprentices and low-income workers.
This is about improving the lives of Aboriginal people by providing stable, secure housing. We know that a house can transform someone's life.
Comes as the latest REWA data shows Karatha's median rent jumped 23% to $1,200 a week. There have been renewed calls for the state government to spend millions upgrading Busselton Airport. It comes after the recent announcement about new direct flights from Sydney to the southwest.
In just a matter of months, Sydney-siders will touch down in Busselton as Jetstar once again heads west. That's prompted calls to upgrade the Busselton Margaret River Airport terminal. Some claim the congested tin shed should be transformed to meet the influx of passengers.
The flights are fantastic, but the Cook Labor government now need to get on board and actually commit to the funding that they cut out of the terminal project.
The terminal has one cafe, a small departure lounge and a handful of check-in desks. A new arrivals hall was built in 2019 as part of Jetstar's trial of a direct Melbourne flight.
I'm extraordinarily surprised that the member for Vass has come out criticising the government, given the work that's been done and the work that's currently underway. The feedback we've had from the airlines is that they're very happy with the Busselton Margaret River Airport.
More than 65,000 passengers have flown the Melbourne route since it began in April last year. The airline predicts the 3 times a week Sydney flights will add more than 50,000 passengers annually.
This is more than just being about ensuring the terminal is fit for purpose, but it's also about ensuring the tourism experience is as good as it can be.
We want to partner with the City of Busselton to make sure that ratepayers are not put at risk, that there's appropriate business planning and financial planning for the airport so that it is sustainable into the future.
A business case will now be drawn up to decide how much money needs to be spent on appropriate airport upgrades. Pip Waller, 7 News.
$47 million will be spent establishing a state health operations centre in WA. The aim is to have a central hub to better coordinate responses to medical emergencies.
From helicopter retrievals to ambulance transfers, emergency care resources are set to become better coordinated across the state.
It's really exciting to be included in a project like this that is really doing something different that will bring a great benefit to those people in WA.
The state government will spend $47 million setting up a state health operations centre.
The SHOC will give WA Health oversight of the entire patient journey from the moment they call for help.
In the next 12 months, staff from St John WA, the Royal Flying Doctor Service and the WA Country Health Service will collaborate under one roof in a new facility. It'll include elements of the current WACS Command Centre.
There'll be a mixture of both the clinicians, our nurses and our doctors, and also the logisticians, those people who know how to move things around to get them to the patients quicker.
Within the centre, a virtual emergency department will also be rolled out in stages.
It works much like a physical emergency department would, with a team of qualified staff able to prescribe treatments, refer for follow-up care, or if necessary, directly admit patients to hospital.
From early next year, on-scene paramedics will be able to refer patients in Perth to the service for a video call consultation.
The co-location with other WACS activities mean that over time we can sensibly look at how it operates across the whole state rather than just the metropolitan area.
Jenny Shon, 7 News.
Australian pharmacists have been training to better understand men's health. The initiative is being led by Men's Health Down Under. It aims to give men easier access to information on issues like urological health.
Since 2013, Men's Health Down Under has helped males address urological issues, and now it's educating pharmacists to better share information with locals.
A lot of pharmacists are doing services other than vaccination now. They might be doing wound care, men's health. And it's a great place to go to get that little bit of advice and often a referral to speak to the GP or a specialist.
To share this model, Brad and his family spent over a year travelling around Australia. On the way, he approached regional pharmacists with training opportunities, even helping out locals.
When I left, my thought was that we'd be talking to a lot of men about erectile dysfunction. Interestingly, on our travels, the main concern blokes had about the urological health was in fact incontinence.
In Albany, Brad met 2 pharmacists from Terry White. The pair's now adopted the program and just returned from training in Canberra. They say what they've learned will help along regional residents to better recoveries.
Patients will often travel to Perth for their operation if they're having a prostatectomy or if they're having serious urological work. That means that the follow-up and the ongoing care can be difficult to manage.
And with familiar faces now able to lend a hand, it's hoped patients will be more willing to seek help.
There are barriers to getting the help that they need. So if they can find the help that they need locally and know that we're here to follow up, then we can help to improve their health outcomes and be a friendly face they trust.
Grace Armstrong, 7 News.
New research has found banning junk food adverts on our state's public transport could save WA billions of dollars. As Lucy McLeod explains, it could help West Aussies lose weight.
Well, it's adverts like this the Cancer Council wants banned from all state assets. It brings in only about $1 million a year, but could save the state government and taxpayers billions in the long run. According to the Cancer Council, the ban would save taxpayers $166 million in healthcare costs over 30 years.
This policy would not only improve health, but it will also result in cost savings over the longer term.
Right now, the state government spends $16 million on the Live Lighter campaign, but only generates $1 million from food advertising. The Cancer Council says 80% of food ads are unhealthy.
If we can shift the curve in terms of the population profile of weight, we know that we can make a substantial impact on these chronic illnesses.
A ban on unhealthy food and drink advertising on public transport could lead to an average weight loss in Perth of 1 kilogram per person.
Plenty to talk about with the weather at the moment. How hot was it today, Amanda?
Look, you're not wrong. It was an absolute scorcher across much of the state today, Noel. We saw showers and thunderstorms across our northern districts today. That's because of a broad area of low pressure that seems to be persisting. Meantime, we have a deepening trough near the west coast. It was hot and stormy in our far north today, 36 in Kununurra, a scorcher in Fitzroy Crossing, and we saw similar conditions in Karratha. Marble Bar was our hotspot though, 44 degrees, 40 in Newman. Very hot across our central west as that heat wave sweeps through. 43 degrees in Geraldton and Morawa. Cooler in Kalgoorlie though, 31 the top there. Similar conditions in Laverton. We saw sunshine across the southwest, 32 in Busselton, 29 degrees in Manjimup, and much cooler along the coast today, mostly sunny in Ravensthorpe, reaching 26 in Esperance. As expected, not a drop of rain recorded in the gauge across the southern half of the state today. A drenching further north though, 79 mils was the most recorded. That was at Kununurra Checkpoint, 29 mils falling at Kingston Rest and 10 mils in Gibb River. To our weather wall now, and a big hello to Macy and Joseph from Hannons Primary, and hello to these happy faces from Year 5 at Bunbury Cathedral Grammar School. Amazing effort, everybody. Well done. And I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up after sport, including what you need to know about that heat wave. Noel?
OK, thanks, Amanda. And also ahead tonight on 7 News, Southwest locals being asked to keep an eye out for a nasty pest. And the Midwest retirees repairing bikes for humanity.
I know you can win. You know you can win. There is nothing stopping you. It's fast. Yes. It's free. Yes. It's easy to play. Yes.
With a $5 grand early bird prize if you sign up now. Win big with free cricket tipping at thegame.com.au.
A new health hub has officially been launched at Curtin University's Kalgoorlie campus. The Goldfields University Department of Rural Health will offer world-class healthcare courses as well as research and career opportunities. The Royal Flying Doctors Service and WA Country Health Service will work closely with the hub to deliver industry placements. It's hoped the space will encourage more healthcare professionals to live, study and work in the region. Residents across the southwest are being urged to poke around for an invasive weed. The poisonous pokeweed has berries that look like this, but be warned, they're toxic to people and pets and can even contaminate produce. The Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development is surveying for pokeweed on properties in and around Balingup, Malaliup, Bridgetown and Pemberton. Anyone who spots the plant should contact the department. A group of Midwest retirees is on a mission to repair and rehome unused bikes for those in need. The group's restored nearly 2,000 bikes over 5 years. Some bikes have even found a new home overseas.
At the back of Peter and Cheryl Moore's property in Geraldton is a treasure trove of unused bikes, parts, tools and some hard-working men.
They're a bunch of mongrels. We always having cat fights around here and we discuss the problems of the world, and yeah, it's just like a men's shed sort of thing.
The group meets every week to fix up and restore any bikes that are donated. For the past 5 years, they've done up more than 1,800 of them. When Peter was 16, he fixed bikes to fund his first car.
So I got a bit of a history doing it, and I thought I can do that in the backyard.
Douglas is the painting expert. John is what they call quality control. No bike gets past him unless all the gears are working. And Greg is considered the engineer. He does much of the technical work.
He was sending them to Aboriginal communities and all over the place, but anyone that needs a bike.
It's all part of an organisation called Bicycles for Humanity. It relies on volunteers to collect and fix bikes, then send them across WA and around the world.
I got a 20-foot container, stuck it in the backyard, much to my wife's surprise. And we filled it up with 150 bikes and spare parts and tools.
With support from the local Rotary Club, this container has arrived in Timor-Leste so kids can start riding to school. Anyone can drop off an unused bike at Peter's property. Other locations around the state can be found through Bicycles for Humanity. Josh Van Staden, 7 News.
Sport is next tonight. An Esperance-raised AFL young gun heading for Victoria. And a Bunbury star helps WA to victory. An Esperance young gun is heading to Victoria after having his dream come true at last night's AFL draft. Colton Tholstrup is now officially a Demon after he watched his name being called out around his family and friends. Pretty excited. The Subiaco forward cut his teeth as a junior for the Newtown Contingup Lions and will now don the red and blue after being selected with pick 13. Night 2 of the AFL draw is now underway. Harvey's Clay Hall has been selected by West Coast with pick number 38. The 18-year-old is a product of the HBL Lions in the southwest and joins the same club where his father Derek played in 1993. A Southwest Football Club has added some class to their list, signing a one-time AFL star. Former Dockers mid-forward Harley Bennell will play for the Eton Boomers in next year's Southwest Football League competition. The Pinjarra product played 88 games at the top level across 3 clubs from 2011 to 2020. The 31-year-old will also play a vital role off-field, mentoring the Baby Boomers, the club's new junior program. An inspired batting performance from a Southwest star has seen WA climb back to the top of the One Day Cup ladder. Sam Whiteman had the state on his shoulders at the WACA last night. He managed to produce his best performance in the domestic 50-over tournament.
Western Australia needed a hero and the Bunbury product came to the rescue.
Oh, he swung away and swung it down to third man. The captain's innings from Sam Whiteman. His first century guides Western Australia back to the top.
Whiteman led from the front last night, putting his state back on the One Day Cup winners list. It was a historic innings for the 30-year-old.
On his pads, Whiteman turns it round the corner, and there it is, his first one-day century in WA colours. Sam Whiteman, a true captain's knock.
Whiteman entered the crease after WA were 2 wickets down in the 7th over. From there, he smashed 11 fours and 5 sixes to finish not out on 137 runs.
Backs away, straight down the ground. That is pure from Whiteman.
And it wasn't just Whiteman's batting that got him player of the match. Some early work in the field sparked what was to come.
Swipe at it. It's going to be a shot at the stumps. Umpire gives it out.
The Big Bash starts in 2 weeks. WA's One Day Cup season now takes a break until February. Julian Vicentini, 7 News.
Western Force players and coaches have been growing support in our state south. The team spent the morning visiting local schools. They even played alongside 40 children at this afternoon's Kids Clinic. After a successful program in Mandurah and Narrogin, the team hopes this visit will help grow the sport even more.
Oh yeah, it's huge for us. Our fan base of Sea Blue are great, but we'd obviously like to grow that to a bit further than just Perth. So hopefully they can jump on board with us and support us in 2024.
With pre-season just beginning, Cummins says the Force is preparing for a fast-paced round of rugby. He hopes by building connections with regional towns, Super Rugby can drum up as much support as the eastern states. Amanda Sabatino is next with the weather forecast for across the state. And then in 7 News at 6, WA's new travel hub. The destination's low-cost flights will now take you.
Welcome back. Tomorrow we can expect showers and thunderstorms over the Kimberley, becoming windy through central parts of the state and remaining very hot over most of the western districts as that heat wave sweeps through. Much the same into Thursday. Those temperatures will continue to climb and linger right up until the end of the week, particularly across the central west. But that warning is also in place for the south and lower west too. Into the start of the weekend, those seasonal showers across the north interior will stick around, remaining hot. We could also see some windy mornings through northeastern parts of the southwest land division as well. But tomorrow, warm with seasonal storms across our north, 36 in Columbaroo, heating up in both Fitzroy Crossing and Port Hedland, 39 in Karratha, and a scorcher in Onslow, 42, 39 in Newman. That heatwave warning will remain in place across the central west as temperatures continue to climb, becoming windy across the region as well. Very hot in Morawa, 43 degrees, and similar conditions in Jurien Bay. That warning also extending through to the south and lower west tomorrow. A windy day in Albany though. Clear skies and 35 in Bridgetown, and further inland we'll see temperatures mostly in the high 30s, 35 in both Corrigan and Merredin. Cooler along the coast, mostly sunny in Lake Grace, 31 in Ravensthorpe, a windy day in Esperance. We'll see similar conditions moving into the Goldfields, partly cloudy, and 31 in Kalgoorlie, a touch warmer in Laverton tomorrow. On local waters, swells to 1 metre on both the Kimberley and Pilbara coasts, southwesterly winds on the Ningaloo coasts to around 20 knots. There's also a strong wind warning in place between the Perth and Lewin coast tomorrow, swells reaching up to around 2 metres, and that warning also extending to the Albany and Esperance coasts, easterly winds to around 30 knots. Taking a look at the nation's capitals tomorrow, 35 and thunderstorms in Darwin, partly cloudy in Sydney, clear skies and sunshine in Adelaide, and closer to home, very hot in Perth tomorrow with a windy top of 39 degrees. Good night.
OK, thanks Amanda, and that is 7 News for Regional WA for this Tuesday night. We'll be back with weather and news updates for you throughout the evening. Stay with us. 7 News from Perth is next with Rick and Sue. From all of us here, good night Western Australia.